Hey everyone, this is Retro Jojo, back again for another video. This video will be a little different than the last couple that I've done, but in this video I want to talk about a birthday present that I recently received. And it was a very generous, very nice gift from my friend, my brother, George. And if you're seeing this, I really still do appreciate it. Can't believe that you got it for me, because you know how much that I like this character. Anyone who knows me knows I love Star Wars. Always have. I always will. It holds a place in my heart. It's just great. Now the new Star Wars, we won't even get into that. You know, that's a can of worms that I don't care to open. But so let's talk about what we come to talk about. This first is actually has a box. So let's look at the box first. And I don't know if my camera will pick this up because I have to hold the mic and record. This is why I wanted to use a camera. But you get a little, on the side you get, it says Star Wars Black Series. It says Boba Fett with the Mythosaur skull up at the top above it, with kind of a little banner around it and a kind of a circular thing around it. It's like the logo, like it appears on his armor. And then you have, it shows the rangefinder that has a removable view thing. It says flip down HUD. It's a flip down HUD, excuse me. And it says that it has LEDs once you put a battery in it. Pretty cool stuff. Then you got a shot of Boba on the front. Oops, I dropped it. I believe this is the front. And it's actually 40th anniversary for Empire Strikes Back. This is how it appeared in Empire Strikes Back. Also in Return of the Jedi. This isn't a Return of the Jedi now, is it? This one says 40th Empire Strikes Back. So that's really awesome. And then it says Boba Fett down in the left corner there. I can't really get it to pick up because I'm trying to hold this thing. There we go. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. And then you got a shot of Boba kind of over here. It's kind of grayish. Then you got a shot of the helmet. Then on the side you get a side view of the helmet. It shows a little bit more detail. There's that insignia again. And there's the Boba Fett. On the back, it's got a little description. I'll read it here. It says Boba Fett, trademark, electronic helmet. Realistically detailed, movie inspired, reproduction of Boba Fett's iconic helmet. So that's awesome. Then it has some of the Mandalorian language down there for what the rangefinder actually does. And then it has it in English, which I think is a cool added touch. You know, it says it has LEDs and then the illuminated HUD. And then interior view, it gives you an interior view. So now, and then on the top, you've got to see if it'll pick this up. There we go. Get that a little close. You don't have to see me. You can see the picture of Boba Fett there. Really good shot. I love the box, but not as much as I love this. Oops, I dropped the box. Technical difficulty, bear with me. So we'll move the box off. Alright, now I want to get to the actual helmet itself. May even put it on, not sure yet. So we'll go ahead and pick her up. It's got some weight to it. So here we'll start with kind of a front view, if you can see it. Hold on everyone. Trying to grab this and hold it. There we go, where we can get a good grip on it. Perfect. So there you can kind of see it looks just like it appears in the movie. I don't know if my camera doesn't want to pick all this up. Maybe we can get a bit closer. How about that? So if you can tell, it's quite detailed. Even has the rangefinder like it as it should. Has the dent, iconic dent. Some people say Darth did it, and then years later they did a thing where Cad Bane done it. So, the showdown with Boba. So that's pretty cool. Got more carbon scoring, and the colors are accurate. The back, you got the grates or whatever they're called. Then we're gonna see if we can get this interior view. Can't really see a whole lot. There we go. It's got the padding like as it should inside of his helmet. It's got an adjustable head thing, which I like because I can adjust it to my head And then if my wife puts it on, she can adjust it to her head, or so on and so forth. If George wants to put it on, because he's always welcome to, he can adjust it to his head, and so on and so forth, as I said. But I do want to talk about something else. I'm going to sit it down here next to me and hold it as I talk about it, and I'll show some other features in just a second. But I love Boba Fett. I'll talk about the character a little bit too. I was introduced to Boba Fett at about 3 years old. And I always loved the mystique, behind him, the mystery. He was very mysterious. Wasn't much known about him back then, And because I watched him in the special editions not long after their release, a couple years later, 98 or 99. And I believe, if I remember right, I'm sure my friend, again, he could tell me, he's a Star Wars aficionado as well. He loves Star Wars. But I just can't quite remember if they were released before I was born. I believe it was 94. Maybe he'll comment on this video and he'll let me know. But nonetheless, Boba was just really cool looking. I love the iconic T, as you can tell, that's on the helmet. And, that's his visor and everything. And I just thought it was so cool, Like, Vader's awesome, too. Don't get me wrong. I love Darth Vader. I love his respirator apparatus and just the way he sounds and the way Darth Vader looks. But there's something about Boba Fett, when I seen it originally, I didn't see it with Tamir Morrison doing the voice. I seen it with Jason Wingreen. I believe that's how you say his last name. And I feel like his voice is a little better, gives it a little bit more edge, a little bit more individuality for Boba, And it made him cool, He sounded tough. He sounded maybe a little bit robotic, I would say. He sounds raspy and real, he's not, it's like, don't get me wrong, Tamir Morrison is awesome. But he was Jango. Boba had, he's a clone of Jango, yes. An unmodified clone of Jango Fett, yes. But he was also his own person. Unmodified means that he was allowed to have his own identity. He was allowed to, he had more than just, work from your master, serve your master correctly, and you'll be rewarded. No, he had feelings. I'm not saying that the clones didn't, but I'm just saying he was capable of a lot of different things. He, in the comics, he married, and then it didn't work out with him and the wife because of his occupation, and they had children together. In the comics, it's just really interesting. I love the comics that involve Boba Fett. There's games that I played that involve Boba Fett. Have Boba Fett, make an appearance in them, or as a boss even. 2 games come to mind. Shadows of the Empire has him as a boss, and the Slave One. You fight the Slave One as well, and then also Star Wars Dark Forces has him as a special. Like, it's like when I say special appearance boss because, or surprise. There you go. There's a good word. Surprise boss, and I say surprise boss because, the other character's telling you, Kyle, get back to the ship. Something's wrong. And Boba Fett's on the landing pad waiting on you. So that's, really cool. But he was great in the movies. I felt like the Book of Boba Fett, I did like when they cleaned the armor up. It took away all the carbon scoring. But the carbon scoring also made him Boba Fett. It's what made Boba Fett Boba Fett. So, I really thoroughly enjoyed him as a character. I actually got to meet Jeremy Bulloch in person before he passed. Rest his soul. Rest in peace, Jeremy Bulloch. Glad I got to meet you before you left this world. Met your end and left this world. But when I met Jeremy, I actually got to hold the movie replica, and this is very, very close to how it would appear. Not exact. Well, obviously it's a Black Series versus the movie replica. It's gonna look and not have as much weight. A little different, of course. They, but they nailed it. I mean, the colors are right. Everything is right with it. Not saying that, but that is to say that the original is always going to be original, because it was for the movie. So anyway, but I want to talk about this too. If you feel they did a great job, Black Series always has done a great job with figures, and this is my first helmet from Black Series, and you can feel along all the places where you see carbon scoring, and they made like indentions and little dimple stuff work on most of it. Now the lighter stuff, the lighter carbon scoring you're seeing, not so much, but the like more silver, or the darker, the darker doesn't have much of a texture feel to it. But if you run your fingers across all this other like light white, kind of grayish silver looking carbon scoring, it has a bumpy kind of feel to it in a lot of areas. Even some of that maroon that's carbon scored has a feel to it, especially on the back here. There's a lot of carbon scoring near the neck where he would have been shot at. That's what happens, because as we know, his helmet was made with Beskar and like different alloys and stuff. So the Beskar protected him from being killed by some of these shots, by some of these shots. So I thought it was really, it's really cool. So I'll show you the feature that I like the most about this helmet. Well, one of them. I like the detail, number one, but number two, I also like this other feature. Nobody look at my eye, because I said in one of my other videos, my left eye is messed up right now. Came into contact with some dirt and it got in my eye and I got an infection. So I'm going to sit this down for a second while I get it on. Hold on. This may muffle my voice a bit, but I wanted to show this for just a second. You press that button, and I don't know if you can see it. There's actually a light that goes up and down on the rangefinder. So that's really cool. And then you press it again, and it lifts up. Oh. So how neat is that? Oops, forgot my glasses to cover up my ugly eye. But how neat is that? That's really, really cool. It has the range. Oh, and it also has a screen. You can take this top piece here off. I didn't do that before. I'm not going to attempt to put it on again and put the mic down and all that. But there's a piece where you can slide off, and you can actually see it how he would see it if he were like hunting a bounty, for example, or scanning something, or locking on to something. So that's really cool. But yeah, I love Boba Fett, and I love this helmet, and I'm blessed that I got this as a really, really nice gift, because they're not cheap, and I know they're not cheap, and I don't take that for granted, and I sure as heck don't take George's friendship for granted. He's a great friend, he's almost like a brother to me, an older brother. Me and him have had a lot of great times together, and hopefully we have some more great times together in the future. He's kind to me, he's kind to my wife. There's a lot of, I will say this, there's a lot of guys, you worry about like things. I have no worries about that with George, because I know his heart, and I know that he is a great man. He has integrity, he has honor, he has loyalty, and those are things in Mandalorian culture, within the lore that George Lucas created for Mandalorians, that are praised by the Mandalorians. You fight and you leave this world with honor. Should you be that unfortunate, and so be it. This is the way. And I just think that's interesting, because within the faith that I follow, there's also, those are values that are highly regarded. Now, there's nothing that I can do to gain what I have, but also That's not to say that I shouldn't try, and I shouldn't have those values and morals and ethics. And I believe everyone should have that kind of, they should have a good standard for themselves. We're not perfect, nobody is, but you have to try, and that's what me and my friend do. We like to have fun, but we have fun in a safe and ethical and just all around, fun and moral way. We don't do anything that we could get in trouble for. We just hang out, shoot the breeze, play some cards, watch a movie, watch a TV show. The last time that me and my friend George hung out, we watched Home Improvement together. I don't know many friends, people nowadays are, I just want to be on my phone. I just want to be on my phone. And that's how I look at it. If you don't like that I said that, then oh well. That's how I feel about it. Everybody's so worried about a dang phone that you can't put it down for a little bit and realize there's more to life than just sitting on your butt on a phone, or standing and looking at a phone for 4 hours, or watching, something on your phone. Go outside a little bit. Use something to train your mind. Watch a show and talk. Like me and my friend talk. We try not to talk over it because we do like to watch shows like that for the laughs and the plot. And that's with anything that we choose to view, as friends and brothers, watch it together. We commentate on it, though, as we're watching it most of the time, because we're not in a theater. There's not a ton of people around. So that's what we do. But yeah, getting back to what I was talking about, though, with Boba Fett and this helmet. I just think the detailing is incredible, and I really appreciate that as a gift. That was very nice. And the helmet itself, again, is very nice. It's very detailed. Black Series does a great job with the figures they have, and with, again, this is my first helmet, but with the helmets. So, yeah. I thought it would be interesting. I thought I'd share it with everyone. And I really, really, really hope I can get, and then maybe another helmet, sometime soon, maybe, or sometime later in the future, like a Darth Vader or Stormtrooper or something like that, really detailed. I like the detail in them, and maybe I can get like some busts, you know what I'm talking about. It's got like the head, it's like styrofoam, then it has the shoulders. Some of them do, or it just has like an stick for neck type of thing. But you put them on it, and it not only will it keep it sturdy, but you can sit it on a shelf. You can display them. Possibilities are endless. So yeah, maybe I'll get some more in the future, near future. I'll keep my eye out, because I certainly love this Boba Fett helmet here. It's my favorite. It's always going to be my favorite, though. Maybe I can get the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian look one and put them side by side, on the shelf. That would look great. So yeah, everyone, this was just a short, I was going over a couple of things that I like about the helmet and showing everybody the helmet. Tried to, anyway. Maybe we can get a better setup when we get the camera, where I can actually move around a little more. And I'm kind of stationary with this, this is actually recorded off of my phone, believe it or not. A pretty good resolution, in my opinion. But yeah, maybe we can get some, even better resolution and get some gameplay in here pretty soon, hopefully. I'm hoping and praying. We're going to see. Just got to start working on it. So I have to have time to be able to work on it, though, because I've been working a lot. So, but anyhow, that's neither here nor there. But everyone be safe. And this is Retro JoJo signing off. Oh, may the Force be with us all. And with you.